out. Because it never happens in Diablo 1 or Diablo 2, so it's like, it was kind of weird to do this every single time. It's like, oh my god, what's happening? And I don't know if you've noticed, but I swap items often in combat, so it's like to zoom in, it was just, no thanks. I can heal. And there's a mana potion right there. It's a trap! Alright. I'm in on the 11th floor of 16. Might I remind you guys. So we're getting near hell. And we got new monsters. Alright, sweet. These shoot lightning. You know, fire. There's only 2 elements in it. Well, 3 if you count holy. Fire and lightning, so... If you see blue monster, you shoot lightning. If you see a red monster, you no, wait, the other way. Red monster, shoot... Actually, these guys are backwards. There you go. Bam, bam, bam. Nova, nice. I got an AoE now. In the shape of a scroll. What do you think about ladder season as a means of creating content? A lot of people like it, but I'm not a fan of starting over. I don't like seasons. It is an unfortunate side effect of the way they designed Diablo 2, because that's where it started, and Diablo 3. They designed Diablo 2's season because there's an oversight in how they design their game. Items don't get destroyed permanently when they're broken and all that stuff, so how do you reset the economy? It's, well, you create new seasons. And that's how you get the MMO. Let's create new items and stuff like that, right? Let's introduce them to the new season so people can play new characters and have a reason to play new characters and stuff like that. If they just made the game better, like a good combat, like balanced, and so that the monsters aren't... Because the problem with Diablo 3, as much as I like it, is you die way too quickly. Unless you have like the most uber items and overpowered. Basically, especially in Inferno, or not Inferno, but in what's the difficulty called again? Hang on. Is it Inferno? That was the old one. I'm throwing a blank, but the hardest difficulty level. It's either too easy or you will. Yeah, of course. Or it's the monsters are too fast or too strong for you, so it's like you die. And if they just balance that out so there's a sweet spot where it was, you know, an even amount of difficulty, and they could just make it like a hardcore. I play in hardcore, so for me, seasonals are just redundant, I guess. But if they just made it so that when you die in softcore, you drop all your items, problem solved. You don't need a seasonal anymore. So it's like there's a lot of stuff like that that I don't agree with, and how they handled the difficulty in the game. And it's one of the reasons why I prefer playing from level 1 to level 70 or 69, is because beyond that, first of all, you don't learn new skills. So it's and you're kind of forced, like if you play seasonal, Oh, I'm getting... My shield's gonna get broken. I can't close the door. Hang on. Repaired. Done. I was saying something. Give me a second. Loading. Yeah, I was saying that, like, beyond level 70, you don't learn new spells, right?
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
Which is like, alright, they limited the way you do that. But to me, it was like, if you play seasonal, you get like set items, and the game in Diablo 3, and this is really unfortunate, was almost designed, or it changed to, you have to play, in order to do like higher difficulty levels, you have to use the set items. And there's like maybe 3 or 4 set items per character class, maximum. I think there's 3 overall for most characters, and maybe 1 more for a specific character, like a demon hunter or something like that. And the set items basically make 1 or 2 abilities like insanely powerful. So it kind of forces you to play a specific build, which I never agree with the build. So I tend to play more loosely, where I just give me like a little 1 to 60 something experience, and don't force me to play like with set items. So I prefer to mix like more interesting spells together. So that's where my comfort zone is. So I don't particularly like. I do play seasonal because it's fun. Like you get like doodads and portraits and items and stuff like that, but I might as well. I stick to hardcore anyway, so it's redundant. There's a lot of stuff in Diablo 3 that's redundant, so. Is there only one dungeon with different layer levels, or is it a proper world map with different locations? So how does this work? Okay, because you've only seen the caves. The dungeon is split into 16 floors. Let's say 15, because the 16th floor is basically Diablo's lair, and you gotta kill him. 16 floors, so it's divided almost by 4 floors each. Every floor you get a different tile set. So from level 1 to level 4, you get the cathedral. Very familiar if you play Diablo 3, the cathedral. It's basically the same except whiter, because it's more gray. There's no reds and colorful stuff in the original Diablo. And then it goes to the catacombs, which... Is there something equivalent in Diablo 3? Not really. Imagine old ruins, like you're underneath old ruins, and instead of like gray walls, they're more like dirt walls, but they're still walls. Handcrafted walls. And then from there, the caves, and from caves you're in hell. We're not there yet. But essentially, your Diablo 1 is basically you're underneath Tristram, and that's it. There's nothing more. So Diablo 2 kind of expanded the world a little bit. A little bit, a lot. And then Diablo 3, you're all over the place. So that was one comment. Let me... Whoop, that saving was not what I wanted to do. I was swinging and pressing escape at the same time. It's literally start in the base, church basement, you go down. Okay, so... Okay, old difficulties for Diablo 3 was normal, nightmare, hell, and inferno. Now it's normal, hard, master, then it goes to torment. You're partially right. It goes normal, nightmare, hard, Expert, Master, Torment 1, all the way to 10. All of that is redundant as hell. Actually, they used to be like Monster Power, which was even worse. But have you played normal mode in Diablo 3? Have you played... I can't play normal mode. I have to play in Master, or sometimes Expert when I'm feeling lazy. Normal mode plays by itself, and I'm insulted that the mode even exists. It just blows my mind. Like, why do you keep inventing more difficulties when they're making the game easier? Just make the game hard or balance. Just balance the game and just fix, like, stop making new difficulty ratings. Like, what the hell? Because you know what it is. It's an MMO loop, basically. We release a new expansion or new patch, new items because of Season 15, and it's like, we got these new items that make you insanely more powerful, like the Kanai Cube, that you can mix legendary power-ups.
Too much baggage.
You can mix legendary power-ups together, so you can be even more powerful. But now the game is too easy, so we'll add more difficulty to... Like, what? I don't know, I hate that. With a passion. It's still a fun game, but my god, is that stupid. And people think I'm like really harsh on like the series, like Morrowind. Like I'm really strict on. It's like, oh, this game is all about like trial and error and blah blah blah. Combat sucks, but I'm actually really harsh on games that in general. I'm harsh on games that I love, including the Diablo series. And there's a lot of stuff in the original Diablo that I can criticize on. I just forgive it a lot more because it's more awesome than that. The game is straightforward. It doesn't need to explain anything. Click to move, you click to swing, and stuff dies or you die. Well, actually, anything dies, so it's all good. Normal mode is mindless clicking. You don't even need to click. I played a Crusader in hardcore difficulty in normal because I had nothing better to do that one day. And the item, it was a seasonal character also. The items were so powerful. There is a ring that drops. I forgot at what level it drops because most items in Diablo 3, kind of like in any Diablo actually, it scales by your level. So at a specific range of levels, certain items have a higher chance of dropping. There's a ring that drops. That's called... I forgot what it's called, but it spawns lunatics every 10 seconds. Maybe 12. Up to 4 lunatics. If you don't know what a lunatic is, it's a baneling. If you don't know what a baneling is, it's basically a little bugger that has gas in its belly, and it'll suicide run to the closest enemy. Usually it's you, because lunatics exists as an enemy, so they run towards you, and when they're close to you, they blow up. They stab themselves up, so you have a chance to dodge out, but they stab themselves in the belly with a dagger, and they just blow up. Now, that ring came up like in Season 3, maybe? So I had dropped from my Crusader, so I picked up that ring, and it was spawning every 10 seconds a new lunatic, up to 4. And they would just run up and blow up to enemies. So it was basically killing everything. I was one-shotting, not one-shot, because there's a failsafe against that. But I was essentially killing Diablo himself in hardcore with... I killed him with 2 lunatics. Why? Like, I'm ranting, but don't make... I want to play the game. Don't let it play itself. It's just... Well, you just play with harder difficulty. No, just make it hard to begin with. Oh, the game again. Gotta fix the sound, because the sound is delayed. There you go. The Ring of Lore Grandeur is another one. Like, I understand their difficulty. Like, design-wise, they have to come up with new abilities for rings to make them interesting to combine stuff, but it's like... Keep it simple, stupid. There's an interesting talk about how important balance is in games in general, and how in roguelikes it's okay for your game to be unbalanced. And you just make it simple, and even if it's unbalanced, players will find a way. Man, I gotta... What I love about Path of Exiles are races. They're essentially mini-seasons. Many of them only last a couple of hours. Yeah, I've heard about that. Path of Exile looks interesting, but the whole skill tree system... Eventually, like it's a, you know, it's a dungeon crawler that's very reminiscent of Diablo, one of my favorite video game series of all time. So it's like, of course I'll play it, but I haven't done that yet. I have not done that yet. And I mentioned that a couple of times already. Well, not today, but in general in my stream, is that I'm most likely play Torchlight than I will Grim Dawn. Yeah, Grim Dawn or Path of Exile. Torchlight plays really well. Okay, that's a lot of... There you go. Back to town. I needed this. Woo! If a roguelike was balanced, it would just be an RPG. Well, not necessarily. It's because there's so many unexpected things in a roguelike, so it's like, don't...
What ails you, my friend?
Let the player be creative at that point. Let him deal with it. Titan Quest is another one I have not played. I believe for single-player games, there should be a little room to become OP. That's normally, like, it's okay. Like, I agree with you. Normally, though, the time where I realize that I found a combination or my character is just too strong is the moment where I either stop playing the game, not out of spite or hatred, but I stop the game or I start a new character and start from scratch again. Is there only one dungeon? What do you mean? With 16 floors? Yes.
Oh, I can hardly believe it! This is the Anvil of Fury! Good work, my friend. Now, we'll show those bastards bastards that there are no weapons in hell more deadly than those made by men. Take this.